Hello everyone, I am 209029 Deng ZIYAN. Today I will give you a presentation about the 20th National Congress of the CPC. This is the content. Firstly, let me give you a short abstract. The 20th National Congress of the Community Party of China held in Beijing from 9 to 12 October 2022. The Congress report systematically expounds on the major theoretical and practical issues of upholding and developing socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era. It scientifically plans the objective, tasks, and general policies for the development of the party and the state in the next 5 years, and even for a longer period. At the same time, a series of new ideas, new strategies, and new initiatives are proposed. The report clearly expounds the worldview and methodology of Xi Jinping's thoughts on socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era, as well as the views and methods that run through it. It scientifically identifies the mission and tasks of the CPC in the new era and the new journey, and systematically deploys specific tasks in various files. The next part is the details of the report. The report profoundly summarized the work of the past 5 years and the great changes of the new era decade, with special emphasis on 3 major events of great practical and far-reaching historical significance to the cause of party and the people. Firstly, the centenary of the founding of the CPC. Secondly, socialism with Chinese characteristics entering a new era, and thirdly, completing the historical tasks of eradicating poverty, building a moderately proposed society in all aspects, and achieving the first 100-year goal. General Secretary Xi Jinping stressed, "This is a historical victory won by the united struggle of the CPC and the Chinese people, a historic victory that stands out in the history of the development of the Chinese nation, and a historical victory that has far-reaching implications for the world. It can be said that the great change of the new era decade is a milestone in the history of the party, the history of New China, the history of reform and opening, the history of socialist development, and the history of the development of the Chinese nation. Such great achievements and changes have laid a solid foundation, created good conditions, provided important safeguards for us to continue to move forward, and forged historical confidence." On October 18, the chief executive of the HKSAR, Mr. Li Ka-chou, described the report of the 20th National Congress of the CPC as a guide for future action and a guiding light for Hong Kong's development. Mr. Li said there were many highlights in the 20th National Congress report. Among them, he was most encouraged by the numerous references to one country, two systems, and the discussion on Hong Kong. This fully demonstrates the great importance of central government attached to the cause of one country, two systems, and the work of Hong Kong and Macau. The next part is a look at the electoral system from the conference. The process of electing delegates to the 20th National People's Congress can be seen from the conference, which showed that China's electoral system and policies are very well established. The total number of delegates to the 20th National Congress was 2,300. the same as at the 19th National Congress. In accordance with this allocation, the number of delegate quotas for each electoral unit is basically the same as at the 19th National Congress. The next part comes to the conditions of the 20th National Congress delegates. Specifically, there are 6 aspects as follows. First, they should be able to study Maximum Lenin's Mao Zedong thoughts, Deng Xiaoping theory, the important thought of the 3 respasants, and the thoughts of socialism with Chinese characteristic in the new era. Second, he was able to enhance the 4 consciousness, firmly establish the 4 self-confidence, and achieve the 2 safeguards. Third, they are able to conscientiously implement the major decisions and deployments of the party's central committee. Fourth, they can remember their mission and consciously practice the fundamental purpose of the party and core socialist values. Fifth, they're able to give full play to their role as pioneering communities, party members. Sixth, they're able to act in accordance with party principles and correctly experience their democratic rights. The next part is the procedure and links of the allocation. There are 5 steps. Step 1, recommendation and nomination. Nomination process begins at the grassroots level with the participation of all grassroots party organizations and party members. According to the quota allocated, candidates are recommended in accordance with the conditions and structural requirements. Candidates are then reported according to the views of the majority of grassroots party organizations and party members. Step 2, organizational inspection. Election units to carry out a comprehensive inspection of the preliminary candidates for representative candidates. Step 3, determine the representative candidates. The election unit convenes a meeting to further consult the party organization's opening and determine the preliminary candidates. Step 4, determine the preparatory candidates. The election unit held a plenary meeting to vote to determine the preparatory candidates. Step 5, conference election. The election unit convenes a party congress to conduct the election. Can first use the pre-election method for pre-election, the list of candidates, and then use the eco-election method for formal election. Can also not be elected, directly using the differential election method for formal elections. The proportion of the differential election should be more than 15%. The last part is the conclusion. It is thus clear that China's electoral system is democratic and rigorous. This 20th National Congress, having summed up the experience of the previous past, has set out new goals and directions for development. The future looks bright. This is the end of my presentation. Thanks for watching.